Hello everyone. Today we are going to review the movie Johnny English. This movie is from 2003, so it is now 17 years old. Seems crazy that it's been that long since the first Johnny English movie came out. But this is actually my second time seeing it because I was going to review it when I watched it originally, but I just didn't have time, so I went back and watched it today to get it out of the way so I can move on and move forward with some of my other reviews that I have to do. And I've got lots to come, but you guys will have already seen all that, so I won't even get into that anyway. But I got lots more to come after this video as well, too, probably, depending on when I upload it, so I don't know, maybe that'll be relevant. Anyway, lots to come for this channel. I'm way ahead of the game now, so things are going good again with my YouTube channel, and starting off 2021 strongly, just like I wanted to. I'm going to make this a good year for me on YouTube and other platforms if YouTube doesn't go well. I'm hoping to really crossing my fingers on getting better editing software soon, very, very soon, so I can start making trailers and things for videos and upload them to my Patreon, and that way you guys are getting some content finally on my Patreon once I get back in there and reset that up and everything. That's my hope. So, Johnny English. This movie starts out with Agent 1 dying out in the field because due to Johnny English's obviously that he gave him the wrong information about the submarine hatch, and the submarine hatch wouldn't open. So Agent 1 ends up dying in the process of that, because it says that on screen. And then, I don't know who it was that pulls up to Johnny English at the very beginning and asks him if he'll be safe here, and Johnny English tells him it's the safest place he can be. Not in those exact words, but then all of a sudden the casket that obviously the bad guys had given the 8 other agents blows up. So all of the agents have now been executed except for Johnny English and Buff, which is basically Johnny English's sidekick throughout this entire movie, and it's just absolutely hilarious. The stuff that happens to them. One of the more notable ones, I would say, was Johnny English when they're trying to infiltrate Pascal Sauvage's building. So Pascal Sauvage is a French ambassador, I believe, and he's a multi-millionaire anyway, and he owns a very large amount of prisons. So basically we find out that Pascal Sauvage's plan is to take all of London, once he gains control of it and becomes king, take all of London and turn it into one giant prison for all the world's prisoners, and then that way, I guess it'd cut the cost of funds for prisons around the world maybe, and it'd save certain countries on some money. But anyway, that's what he wants to do once he becomes king. So their original plan was to take the Archbishop of Cambridge, I do believe it was Cambridge, I might be wrong on that, and basically they make a 3D print of his face and put it on this other guy. Unfortunately, Johnny English and Buff obviously break into Sauvage's tower, and they find out that this is his plan. So they change that plan, and then I believe they break into the Queen's... I don't know whether they broke in or whether they were just visiting her. Anyway, they tell her to sign over the documents, making Sauvage obviously the next in line to be king. And then all of a sudden the Queen just disappears, and Sauvage makes it look like he's surprised by this or whatever. And it seems that no matter where they go, Johnny English is always somehow destroying their plans. So he breaks into Sauvage's building when he's having some sort of meeting. I don't know whether it was like some sort of it looked almost like a castle. It was a huge building anyway. Him and this other agent, female agent, what was her name? Just give me a second here. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Hold on. Bear with me. I know I really got to get this pulled up for most of my Johnny English. Okay, her name was... Well, I'm just going to say her name was... Oh, yes. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Agent Campbell. So I guess she's been kind of undercover, or at least she's on the same sort of mission as Johnny English is. She obviously doesn't work for MI7. I don't believe she did anyway. So she's on the same mission. Eventually, she starts to get feelings for Johnny English, so that's kind of like the love interest there in that story. And the funniest scene between the two of them where they're in like this little, I don't know whether it was like a confession booth maybe, or like a recording booth maybe for something. And he hits the button, and it goes over the loudspeakers so Savage can hear his whole plan, and he sort of sits there and goes, yeah, that's a great plan, but too bad I heard it. So then Savage takes him into captivity. They end up escaping thanks to the help of Buff, who has followed them into the castle, I guess that, I'm going to call it a castle, because that's basically what it looked like. The castle that Savage was in. So it looks like Savage is going to be crowned king. The ceremony is going in his favor, and then all of a sudden, when they ask the bishops, was it Archduke of Cambridge that I said? Sorry. I think they asked the bishops of Wales. I'm choking on peanut from earlier. Oh, okay. They asked the bishop of Scotland, Wales, and one other place. And then when they get to Johnny English, he throws up his hood and takes off his cloak and says, in the name of England, I do not, and then tries to basically tell everybody in the crowd that Savage is a fraud and that he would kill anybody that gets in his way of becoming king. And he takes the Archduke, or the Duke of Cambridge, and basically literally gets him to moon everybody, or he gets him to moon everybody in front of the crowd. I don't know why I keep saying basically in all these videos. He pulls up his robes, and there's not the tattoo of the guy that he saw originally. It said, Jesus is coming, look busy. That guy had that tattooed across like his lower back near his butt, so that was just funny because... And then he goes, wait a minute, there's more evidence, I'm not quite done yet. And he shows the people this video of what he thought was Savage's plan to turn the whole place into a giant prison. It just ends up being a video of him dancing in his bathroom. So he runs away. He then grabs the crown, comes back in and grabs the crown. He's swinging around, and he ends up landing in the chair and being crowned king himself. So now Johnny English has now been crowned king, so he orders the arrest of Savage, and the whole crowd erupts, because I guess you can't really not listen to royalty, right? So then when, at the end of the movie, it shows him with the Queen, and he is obviously giving power back to the Queen, and he is knighted. So Johnny English saves the day, even though it's in a very goofy way. I mean, he's not necessarily... These movies are funny, but it's almost funny in like an unfortunate way for Johnny English, it seems, no matter what movie it is, because he's not necessarily a bad agent. It's just unfortunate circumstances seem to always happen to him, no matter what. Like the car chase scene at the beginning between the two bad guys, when Buff drops him, he ends up being on a trailer, because they were on a tow truck. He ends up being on the trailer of another car and gets towed the other way. So it's just very unfortunate circumstances for Johnny English, no matter what. So yeah, this movie is a definite 10 out of 10, because it's just as hilarious as the other ones. You'll always get a laugh at Rowan Atkinson, no matter what he's in. If it's Mr. Bean or these movies, oh my god, I don't know what other films he's been in. So if you comment down below and give me some more Rowan Atkinson films, I would love to review those, because he is funny. I just don't know like what other like mainstream or like Hollywood type films he's ever been in. But yeah, definite 10 out of 10 for this film. I don't think there was anything. No, I don't have any criticisms of this film actually. They always seem to be really, really well done. And I don't think there's anything else I can really touch on. No other scenes. I think I've covered most of the story, or at least the main part of the story. Oh, there is one other scene I can touch on, and that's the scene where he gets the two rings messed up, and he actually lands on the wrong building first when him and Buff are going to go into Savage's tower. He lands in the wrong building, and he thinks that Savage has some sort of like laboratory set up there, and it ends up he's just in the hospital beside Savage's building. So then when they break in, when he finally gets over to Savage's building, Buff lets him in, and he gets his rings mixed up. So he gives the first guy the truth serum, and the guy that he was supposed to give the truth serum to, he gives him the muscle relaxant, and he ends up taking the muscle relaxant himself. And that scene is just absolutely hilarious too. But I think that's all I have to touch on for this movie. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this film as well. And if there's any other Rowan Atkinson films you would like me to review that are on Netflix or I can hopefully find on DVD or Blu-ray somewhere, please let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.